Loss is never really enjoyable to endure, even for those who can cope well with it. Having to deal with losing something or someone can be one of the most painful experiences. There are many different kinds of losses we experience in our lives. Sometimes, this is death, and other times, it is simply a change which forces us to losing something meaningful. Whether it be a small loss or something major. Experiencing letting go of something which was so important to you can be truly painful, and for some, it is overwhelming. Each person has its own way of processing these feelings. For some, the idea of letting go hit them much harder, and for others, it is something they seem to handle much better. For INFJ, loss can be a somewhat crippling experience. Especially when it is the loss of someone they love. INFJ don't deal well with change, and losing someone or something deeply important can be overwhelming for them. Well, this is how to, and here, how gracefully INFJ deal with loss and how they move on. Before we begin this video, don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to turn on notification for more interesting and informative videos. INFJs are caring and warm people. Understanding and processing their own emotions is not one of their greatest strengths. Their focus on the emotions and need of those around them can actually make moving on and accepting loss a bit more challenging for INFJs. This doesn't mean it is impossible for them to find a way to heal and moving forward. It just means that the process can be much more difficult and sometimes overbearing one for INFJ's personality type. So, the question is, how can INFJs accepting their losses? Well, let's talk about it. Accepting their own emotions can actually be a serious challenge for the INFJs. They are very much connected to the feelings and emotional needs of those around them. But this leaves a little room for them to focus on themselves. They don't find it as easy or natural to understand their own inner feelings and might even push them aside to help others. Sometimes, the INFJs do this because they care and don't want to burden others. But there are times when this is simply because they struggle to process their own emotions. Instead of dealing with their own inner feelings, which can make them feel stressed and uneasy, they tend to the need of those close to them. While this is part of what makes the INFJ so caring and compassionate, it can make it hard for them to process loss and negative emotions, even they know they need to deal with those feelings. The INFJs might try to bury them, instead they spend so much time fighting the emotions that they end up having outbursts without meaning to. In order to handle what they are going through, sometimes it feels like the best option to bury these emotions and save them for later on. Instead of drowning in their own sadness and pain, the INFJs try to find ways to take care of everyone else and keep moving forward. Spending so much time neglecting their own needs and feelings can certainly be something which build up over time for INFJ. They are forced to face those feelings, but it can be more challenging. Since they often come out all at once when they are feeling stressed and overwhelmed. The process it is not easy for INFJs to letting go and moving on, so they have tendency to fight it with everything they have. At first, they are likely into denial, not wanting to accept that they need to move on and let go. Even there's not chance to get back that person or thing. INFJs still struggle to actually let go. Even this mean, they hold it in their hearts and latch on for life. The INFJs are likely to do this to the best of their ability. They can dig their heels in and something that the INFJ is attached to. And so, this is way, loss is something which they don't cope with easily. Living alone is very important for INFJ when they gone through serious loss. INFJ really needs someone in their lives who can give them perspective and force them to face their feelings and reality what is happening. The next step to deal with loss is moving on. Moving on is never simple or easy. But for INFJ, it can be a real struggle. They don't comfortable with change and moving on often means dealing with change. INFJs are likely to fight this at first, which is why they need people who help them see that they have to move on eventually. INFJs will learn to move on when they can accept that they are not to blame for this loss. They need to process their inevitable feelings of guilt. Since INFJs have tendency to blame themselves when something doesn't go as they hoped or desired. Do you have any thoughts how INFJs deal with their problems? Please let them share in comment section below and also subscribe our channel for more videos.